Yeah, there's a fascinating new report from UK in a Changing Europe and Focal Data, starring some of our favourite geeks, Sophie Stowers, Anand Menon, James Kanagasoriam and others. They've been tracking voting trends in ethnic minority voters for over a year and comparing them to white voters. And the first clear thing is that Labour, in red, is still well ahead with ethnic minorities. 49% of the vote compared to 33% for white voters, although it is nuanced in different groups. So there is more support among black voters than mixed race and than Asian. And if we actually break down Asian voters a little bit further, there are some interesting trends. This divides that group by religions and then looks at vote change this year compared to 2019. So you can see, for example, a fairly big rise in support for Labour among Asian Christians, a small rise among Hindus, but support among Muslims absolutely plummeted. As for the Tories, they declined across the board, but a bit less among Hindus and actually quite a lot less among Muslims, although Tory supporting Muslims is still a small group relatively. So look, is there an opportunity for Conservatives among these groups who were once pretty loyal to Labour? I think maybe when we look at this chart from the report on values, it asks people to say, what is the most important thing to them? So, for example, for the white population here, the NHS or health is way ahead, then immigration, and then economic growth. Now, we tend to think that people who care most about public services as being more on the left, while a higher focus on the economy is more on the right. Well, among ethnic minorities, the NHS is not as far ahead from the economy. And, you know, for some groups, it is still the NHS ahead, but for some, it actually flips. So for black Africans, the NHS and economic growth are neck and neck, while for Indians and Chinese, they put economic growth first. What this shows is this is not one single voting group, and probably there is some hope for Tories.